Okay, so Bitcoin, we're talking about digital currencies here on the Bush Telegraph of the world. I'm Jay, and I'm here with Mick.
Yep.
And essentially, we're just talking about digital currencies of the world. At the moment, there is Bitcoin, and there's a few others that have been emerging, like Litecoin, which is still based on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a total mining capacity of, I think, about 21 million units, and Litecoin has a total capacity of about 84 million units mined. Freecoin, I'm not sure, but there's a few others that are emerging, and I don't want to say it, but well, I mean, I will. Unfortunately, the trend is in the future a cashless society, and this is one thing I don't like about these digital currencies, because I always prefer physical cash. And these digital currencies, because they can, there's pros and cons. There is pros and cons. There definitely is. The pros I see is that it's anonymous and it cuts out the bankers, and it can be, carried in a USB stick in a Bitcoin or a Litecoin wallet. But the bad things are that, what if your computer gets wiped? What if the system gets hacked? What if the market crashes?
Or even if there's an EMP and everything,
electromagnetic pulse. That's
electrical
right.
Goes offline.
That's right, and it's no good to anyone. Then
it's definitely no good.
It's no good to anyone. So, look, we're going to see the trend increase, and I do support alternative currency to the world's the central bank's currency of the world. I definitely do. But I don't like the idea of a cashless society, and I think that when we it's all plastic. We use your EFTPOS card, use your credit card or your debit card. We get on the trams and public transport here now in Melbourne, and we got to use this crappy system called Mikey. It's had heaps of problems, and it was a complete blowout. But you can't just walk on with a pocket full of change and buy your ticket anymore. You've got to add credits.
Add credit to a card that costs actual money to buy the card without any credit on it.
Yeah.
It's not, the card doesn't come for free. You have to buy the card and then buy your fare. And the card is, the card costs basically the same price as a daily fare.
Yeah.
A daily fare. So once you lose your card, like Jay did the other day, he had to purchase another one. That's another $6.
So it's just the trend of a cashless society is really what we're pointing out here. But I like physical Mick. Mick is being getting educated on the physical side of
ladies,
the money system, and you got a girlfriend.
I invest in comic books.
Comic books are cool.
Comic books and musical instruments.
Absolutely. So physical things that can't disappear overnight due to an electromagnetic pulse blast or a crash in a digital market or currency. I like physical silver. I go gold prospecting, but I invest in silver. I'm a silver investor, but a gold prospector. So anyway, that's for fun, but with physical. And so we're seeing at the moment that the actual silver price today, just as we were making this, is $23.25 according to the Perth Mint's live precious metals price, and gold is sitting at $1,372 per ounce, which is, I'm telling you all, it is a steal. Go and buy it. Keep stacking.
I still think wait till 5.
No.
Silver drops to $5.
See, the problem is that when you wait for a
maybe
pullback,
not 5, but as I said to Jay the other day, maybe 20.
Well, if you wait for a pullback and you run in and then you go, right, I've got all this money, I need to invest. Well, there's probably not going to be any there, because it's probably all going to be bought out.
Well, that's another important thing to mention. Buying silver physically is very different to buying silver on the markets.
That's right.
Because you don't actually have the physical silver with you, and if the market crashes, then the silver you had invested in the market goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make sure that you buy the physical stuff, the
Absolutely.
stuff you can hold.
Yeah, stay away from precious metal certificates and IOUs that are traded on the stock market. Not very smart investments. JP Morgan and the Federal Reserve Bank of America have been manipulating the precious metals price, in particular the silver price. And think silver is a couple of quick facts about silver. It is the most reflective metal in the world. Nothing else can replace it in electronics. It is used in water purification. It is used in solar panels. It is used in clothing. It is used in all kinds of electrical components. So, it's actually the second most consumed commodity in the whole world. And if we keep on using it at the rate that we're using it, by about 2020, it will probably be the first element on the periodic table which will be extinct. And most people will be, when the price goes up, they're going to be hacking, ripping apart old phones, computers, digging through trash and stuff like that, trying to find this stuff. Now, it's been used in currency for thousands of years. The dollar isn't pegged to it anymore. Nixon cut it off in 1971. And look, just buy physical is my recommendation. Have a look at what happened to the inflation, the money printing of Zimbabwe. I've got one of their notes that is $100 trillion. You couldn't even buy a cup of coffee for that. By the time that note was minted, the German company that was making those notes, it wasn't even worth the paper and the ink that it was printed on. And thanks Mugabe and the Federal Reserve banks, basically the people who are forcing these loans on these poor countries and causing inflation, as well as the combination of greed and wars and all that sort of stuff. Wars create debt, and that's a good business for bankers.
Yeah, of course. And the bankers, the way I see it, they're always, the bankers, the elite or the bankers, they're always gonna attack the poor first, the poorest first, and then they'll work their magic and figure out how to actually enforce it onto the middle class of the world, and so on, making the gap bigger and bigger.
That's right, divide and conquer.
Yeah. So they're definitely smart, evil people, but they've always been around, haven't they?
No, well, they've got to change the system. They've got to go back to the Glass-Steagall system, which separates banking from investment, and that's where it all mixes up. It all mixes up. But, debt is created, money is created through currency. I should use the terminology, because currency is not money. Currency is created through debt, through the Federal Reserve Bank, usually the Federal Reserve Bank of the country that you live in. It's under the yoke of the World Bank, etc. Basically, it's created into existence through loans, and these loans are traded for government bonds. And these government bonds are bought up by the Federal Reserve Bank, and the Federal Reserve Bank prints a whole lot of money and gives it to the government. Usually this happens in a digital form, and only, it's less than 5% of all the money that's in circulation here in Australia is actually in cash, actual physical. All the rest is all just numbers. And it goes the same right around the world. So I like physical, and I think that commodities...
Physical love.
The physical love. I like physical. I like physical silver. I like physical food.
Of a silver ounce.
Yeah, well, it's just going to get rarer and rarer. So forget about the price, except that it's a good price to buy. Forget about the price, because JP Morgan's been manipulating the market that much. It's about 1,000 times more IOU certificates or precious metal certificates that are rolling around the stock market at the moment than is redeemable, which means that if they all went in together and go, right, give me my gold, give me my silver, they could not deliver. And that means that the market will just go haywire. It will skyrocket.
Yeah, but see, this is where I disagree with you a little bit, because I mean, the charts you can have a look at, and they only date back about 30 years, 35 years or so. But it's only recently. I mean, like as we were speaking earlier, I think you said 1979 there was a peak where
1980.
1980, yeah, where it went up to about $50.
$50 in 1980. That's a lot of money today.
And then that held for about a year or so.
No, it didn't. It didn't hold for very long at all.
Right.
It was a peak.
Right.
And yeah, there's a big story behind that. The Hunt brothers, they were trying to corner the silver market in the United States, the world market as well, world silver market, and the Federal Reserve Bank and the powers that be in America did not like that, because it's a very small market compared to gold. 95% of all the gold that's ever been mined in the whole world is still in existence. And silver, 95% of that, going down from approximately 81 billion ounces in the early 1900s. We are at less than 700 million currently in 2013. So,
yeah. Well, look,
incredible.
Just
means there's a lot of room to move up.
I think there's the way I see it. If I was going to invest, which I won't, but if I was going to, I would definitely. I know we might have to wrap up real quick, but let me just say I don't have too much confidence in silver going up. Same with gold, but that's just my opinion. I think it's going to drop back to what it was, but time will only tell. And if Jay's right, he's going to be a rich man. And I'm going to be a poor man.
Well,
I'll be reading Spider-Man.
Oh, it's funny, the silver coins that are issued by the Perth Mint. There's a Kookaburra series. I'll be laughing all the way to the bank.
That's
Actually,
right.
I'm not going to be putting my money in the bank.
Yeah, of course
they're
not.
banks the gangsters. So, look, before you even decide investing in precious metals at the moment, a good thing to invest in is water purification. It is in food storage, because food prices are only going to go up. Lock in food prices today and go out and buy some food. Get some long life storage and get it happening. It is not out of paranoia. It is a form of insurance. And when you open your cupboard, you think that most people only that actually just walk into the city and notice it. Most people only shop day to day, and they'll buy dinner for that night, food for their cat, lunch for tomorrow, and they'll go and they'll do it again. They open their cupboards, they've only got condiments, sauce and salt and pepper and stuff like that. They haven't got much food, so go and buy some food. You know how fast supermarkets can be emptied? Very, very quickly. They have a system that basically means that they don't have a lot of storage. It's called a just-in-time system, which means that the warehouse holds most of the food and it's distributed as it's needed. So supermarkets can get emptied very fast. Go and buy physical stuff, physical food. And pretty much that's about what I've got to say today with Mick. This is Jay at the Bush Telegraph of the world.
If you guys have any comments, or
please,
if you like, you can subscribe, you can like, you can dislike.
Please,
we prefer if you comment rather than like or dislike, because we like to get a healthy debate going instead of just knowing whether you like it or not. But that always helps. So either way.
Look, we're here just to have a bit of a discussion. We hope that we've brought up a couple of things that you may think about, and it's only for your benefit. It's not for ours. It's for your benefit, and this is why we're talking about it, because Bush Telegraph of the world, we're concerned with the welfare of people, not with the welfare of the banks.
Yes, and I think it's my venting benefit.
Well, please let us know if there's any subjects that you would like us to talk about, and we'll do some research and we'll talk about them for you.
Yeah,
let us know.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
All right.
See you later.
Bye.